Well, hello and welcome back to the channel. Around a year ago I made a video talking about the camera equipment that I used on the channel, and as you can see from this clip, this is what it was a year ago, and this the kind of drones and the cameras I was using. But a lot has changed in that time, and most of that kit's all gone, it's all been sold. and now the only thing is my trusty iPhone, I think, that I've still got, that I'm regularly using to make some video content from. So that's what we're going to talk about today. The improvements I've made in all the new camera equipment that I've got, and how it all fits together and how it all works for me. So sit back, relax, and let's see the improvements that's been made for the channel. So anyway, the biggest development is the purchase of brand new DJI Action 5 Pro cameras. And I've got two of these, this one here and also the one I'm actually using to film this video. And they're absolutely a game changer as far as I'm concerned. They're absolutely brilliant little cameras. You might have noticed I've made a couple of wee modifications. I've got some wee sticky on pads that go on the two buttons, and that's really made a big improvement, because when you've got your gloves on the bike, you can actually feel these so much easier to operate them. So yeah, brilliant cameras. I'm not going to go into the technical details of the cameras, there's plenty of that online. But I'm just going to talk about how they work for me. And so yeah, I use these, one of these attached to my helmet and one attached to the bike as well. And normally on the bike, I would use this clamp arrangement here, which is a RAM unit. It's brilliant. You can just clamp this on the handlebars or a part of the bike somewhere. And it's got lots of articulation, so you can get it in lots and lots of different places. So this is really so quick and easy to use. And it's so stable, it's brilliant, love it. But the main one is this one here, and that's attached to my helmet. And what I use is a Shoei Neotech 2 helmet. And what I've done for the purposes of this video is I've removed the chin bar from the helmet to show you exactly how it works for me. And what I've got is actually a chin mount fitted to the front of the helmet here. And it doesn't look like it's held on by very much, and I must admit, but it's been rock solid, it hasn't really came off. But it still gives you access to the wee clip to open the chin piece. So yeah, so that's basically how the camera is mounted. And what I attach it to is this little unit here, which I have made up. It has the mount that goes on to the chin mount, and it's securely bolted up in position. And I've also got a DJI mount here for the camera. And the beauty of this is, when I'm not using the cameras, this is all you've got on the helmet, is this wee chin mount here. But when you want to use it, it's simple, a matter of basically clipping it on, and it's on. Again, looking at it and the camera, I've always thought, I'm not very sure how secure that is. So what I've done is to put on this wee mount here, which is just a tether. And what I tend to do is put this wee tethering cable on, feed it through the mount, and that holds this securely to the helmet. So then once it's clipped in and the wee rubber piece pushed down as well to secure it and lock it in place, that's not going to come off. And if it was to fall off, it's just going to hang on that tethering cable. And the beauty of this system, because I've got it bolted up without any thumb screws and some Allen screws, it's always in the correct position. You can take it off the helmet, click it back on, and it's bang in the correct place for this helmet. You don't have to keep readjusting each time. So then the camera, it just securely fits on top there, which is really excellent. And that's how my camera is mounted to my helmet. And when you're using the helmet, you can, from the visor point perspective, it's easy access to the button in the top to operate it. And when you press the button to operate it, the camera switches on and it starts to record instantly. And you can also, after 15 seconds, the screen goes goes off. So it's still recording, and you're not distracted at all by the screen, but you can still see the wee red light that flashes, and I can see that from when I'm riding along, so I know the camera is recording. And the beauty of these cameras, once you press the button again, one hot button, the camera switches off completely, and the camera is completely off. It's not using any power whatsoever. And so when you're riding along, even with the both camera up on the handlebars as well, it's so easy just to go along, press one button, and then press the other button on the other camera, and they both come alive, they both start instantly recording. And when you've filmed the wee scene that you want, just hit the two buttons on the two cameras, and they instantly just go back to sleep. And what that actually means is, because they're both totally switched off at this point, and because they instantly respond to the button, you're only using battery power when you're actually wanting the scenes that you want to film. You're not running with the cameras using power for maybe quite a long run, but you're not actually necessarily wanting to film. But if something comes along, you say, oh, I want that, bang, hit the button, and boom, like that, that's it, it's recording. It's so quick, absolutely game changers in my opinion. So what I find with these cameras, you can be out filming all day, which I have done. I've used them extensively in the Tenerife, the Gran Canaria series. That was their first real test. And I have to say, they performed brilliant, faultlessly. I had not one single issue with them for the whole week of filming. And my routine with it was to run one battery from the morning session up to lunchtime. And at lunchtime, I would change the battery over to the second battery. And the batteries never died at all on me. And because you're limiting the time you're actually recording, it works. You could quite easily probably get away with one battery for the full day, but I did change them midway because there's no way I wanted to miss part of the action. So that's the camera, and because it's so sitting there, it's all fully self-contained, it's totally waterproof. I mean, you can stick this camera underwater and it'll perform great. So the next issue is sound, how we get sound into the camera. And traditionally, with my old drift cameras, you always had a wee wire that used to come around and it would go in. And invariably, often when you put the helmet down, the wire would get caught. And I had instances where the cable got damaged. I had to replace them. It was a bit of a pain. So what I use now is DJI Mini microphones. And this thing is absolutely tiny. It's really superb. And it only has basically two buttons on it. One button is the power button at the bottom here. If I press that, it'll come on. And you can see the wee blue light is flashing on it to signify that that's it, switched on. The other top button above that is basically a pairing button for pairing it to the camera. And it's already paired, so I'm not going to have to bother about that. So that's fantastic. And how that fits in my helmet, I have a wee magnet in here. There's a wee magnet that comes with the microphones, and it's actually just on a wee bit of 3M double-sided tape that's sitting in there. So the magnet just comes along, and I just click the magnet in there, boom. And that's it. That's the magnet, the camera in place. And equally, when I'm riding along, I can actually see the wee light flashing on top of the microphone. So I know that the microphone is working. I know it's live. And it's just waiting there, ready to accept the camera input. Now, bearing in mind, remember, this camera is totally switched off. I've switched the microphone on, and if I just hit the button to record, instantly the camera comes up. I get a wee warning. You notice it comes up, it says what the battery percentage is in the microphone. It came up saying it's 100%, it's fully charged. And you can see this wee green line going along. That is the gain line coming along. It's showing the camera working. So again, I've got two indicators now. I've still got the wee red light that's flashing here to show me that the camera is recording. And also, I can actually still see this wee blue light that is solid, so I know the microphone is working. So I've got fantastic setup, and it's so unobtrusive inside the helmet. It just works. It's just brilliant. And again, because the camera is waterproof, because the microphone is sitting quite tightly inside the helmet, if you're out in bad weather and rain, etc., it's not affected. I think this is such a neat, clean solution for vlogging. And it works, it's proved itself. I'll show you this wee clip. It just shows the performance of the microphone in this setup just now.
Well, we're out on the wee bike today and doing a sound test. This is with the DJI Mic Mini microphone installed inside my helmet. This is the quality of sound you would get from it. We're riding along about just 50 miles an hour just now on the wee Enfield, and hopefully the sound quality will be really, really good. Well, we're out on the wee bike today and doing a sound test. This is with the DJI Mic Mini microphone installed inside my helmet. This is the quality of sound you would get from it. We're riding along about just 50 miles an hour just now on the wee Enfield, and hopefully the sound quality will be really, really good. Well, we're out on the wee bike today and doing a sound test. This is with the DJI Mic Mini microphone installed inside my helmet. This is the quality of sound you would get from it. We're riding along about just 50 miles an hour just now on the wee Enfield, and hopefully the sound quality will be really, really good.
Yeah, so that's how my helmet setup goes. It's so quick and simple, it's absolutely brilliant. And the beauty of this microphone is, and for something that is so tiny, the battery in this microphone will last up to 11 hours. Yeah, I said that correctly. 11 hours of battery life. And I've tested it. I've run these in the house for that time with the cameras, and it does provide that. So the reality is, normally if I'm out riding, I might be riding for maybe from 9 till 5, for instance. So that's what? 8 hours. 8 hours potential filming. So that's still got 3 hours potentially in reserve. So when I'm going out for filming for the day, I switch this on in the morning, stick it into the helmet, and it's there. I don't have to touch it again until I'm finished filming for the day. All I have to do is just switch the cameras off and on when I want, and potentially swap the battery out if it's a full day's filming. But again, if it's half a day, the battery in the camera will last and the battery in the mic will last. It's just, to me, it's just brilliant. I absolutely love it. So another wee feature I have is when I'm riding along and I've got this mounted up, maybe on the handlebars looking at me, which is the normal one. I use that quite a lot when I've got two cameras. But occasionally, there might be times where I want to position this on other parts of the bike, maybe looking down at the front wheel or looking behind me, somewhere that's away, out of the way. Again, if that's the case, obviously when I'm riding along, it's going to be very, very difficult to switch this off and on when I'm riding, or nigh on impossible. So yeah, but I've got a way around that as well, and that is using this little remote control here. It's a DJI remote control for the cameras. Again, so if I press the power button on the remote control, it's up there. It's flat, blue light's flashing. It's looking to connect to the camera. And if I press the record button on top of the camera, the Bluetooth remote control connects and switch that back off. And now the display goes to wake up camera. So now it's still connected to the camera, it's still talking to it, even though the camera is effectively switched off. So you can ride along for quite a long period of time like that, and then hit the record button. It wakes the camera up and it starts to record. So the camera is now recording. So you've got that scene. And again, once you've finished that wee bit of recording, hit the stop button, and it will stop the camera recording again, and the camera again switches off. And the display here goes back to wake up camera. And the green light comes on. You can tell it's still connected because the green light's on. I hit the remote control again. The green light changes to red when it's recording. That's it now recording. And it comes up with a wee time on there. It tells you like how long it is recording for as well. So again, you can see when you're riding along, this is on the handlebars. You can know you've managed to activate it. You know it's recording, so you can, which is absolutely superb. And again, if you press it down again, and that will stop recording. Superb. And if you finish with the remote control, just press the off button again and it'll go to sleep. Another wee bit that I've got with regards to the DJI camera is this wee unit here, which is it's a little light. It's a Ulanzi LM18 quick release mini LED light. And pressing the button on the top should switch it on. Yeah, that's it. And if you press it again, it's got 3 different light settings on it. And what that is, it can actually, if you need, you can actually connect that onto the camera. So if you're in a wee tight location, if I'm doing some filming and you want a wee light on it, you can use that and it'll work. You can also use it potentially with a tripod or something. You have to really use the cage in that case, whereby the camera is mounted inside the cage and the camera is then clipped onto either this mount or any other mount, and the light can attach on the side. So that gives you, I know that if when I'm using the camera, sometimes it's sitting in that position and I've got it up on a wee tripod and I'm doing some filming in the garage, for instance, and you want to get some light on the subject, and it's awkward to try to hold a light and hold the camera and everything and do the job at the same time. So this is actually, for something that was incredibly cheap, I think it was only about 12 or 13 pounds on eBay, it's actually quite remarkably effective. And because it just clips straight onto either the cage or the camera, it just works. And it has a wee rechargeable battery in there as well. It's excellent. I'm really pleased with that one. That's what it is, a Ulanzi LM18 quick release mini light. And going back to the final part of the DJI part of it is the Mic Mini. Again, that has to be charged, and because it's so tiny, there isn't any charging point in it, but it's got some points on the bottom, and it clicks into this wee mini charger, which plugs into a mini USB connector, and you can charge it up. But it doesn't end there. You'll have noticed last year I did a lot of wee drone shots, and a lot of the drone shots came from the Hover Air X1. And again, that's something that I bought last year, and I loved it. I've loved using it. It was the most brilliant wee flying camera. It was so fast to just take out, stick it up in the air and get some amazing shots. And this is an example of some of the shots that came from it. And yeah, the only reason I sold it was because Hover sent me an email at the back end of last year, and they were releasing the brand new Hover Air X1 Pro and Pro Plus, and it was a pre-release deal for current users, and the price was incredibly cheap. It was almost 40% off the price. I thought, wow, pass this up. So I thought, yeah, I'm going to buy one. And this is it. This is the X1 Pro, which is a 4K flying camera. The Pro Plus actually goes up to 8K. I couldn't justify that one. But this is basically very similar to the X1 that I was using, but it's so much better. It's the same kind of design. It's slightly larger. This is still the same case that I used to use, but I had a wee foam insert that went round it. This one now fits the case absolutely perfectly. And that, because it was all so small, I took this with me everywhere last year. You stuck it in the top box, and if you used it, you used it. It's like they say about a camera. The best camera you've got is the camera you've always got with you. And you've always got your phone. And I tend to always have the action cams if I'm vlogging. But this was of the same mould. It was so small and so portable, you always took it with you. So it was always there if you got the shots. And it's great for those wee B-roll shots of just that wee flying scenes. And this one, again, it's just even better. It's even better than the X1. But that's not the reason that I actually changed it. I changed it because it gave this so much more functionality. And the functionality came in with the stuff that's in this wee box here. This is absolutely game changer. You would have seen this part here, which was the beacon. I used this in the Lost video. If I switch the power on, again, so that's basically the beacon on its own, but it does more than that. You can actually connect this section here onto it, which gives you manual control, and you can actually fly the hover using this wee joystick as well, and just gestures from your hand. It's a bit like a nunchuck they used to get for a Wii game. We used to play tennis and all sorts with it. This is very much similar to that, and with various switches and controls. So again, you can fly the drone using this. But it gets better as well. There's another section here that clips onto it, and here. So you've got two controls to fly it with. And you can flick these down to make it more comfortable to hold in your hand. And again, you can fly here, and this was just superb. And you get a really good display from the wee screen. And a lot of information, flight information up there as well. But it doesn't even end there. You can actually click your phone into the unit and go to hover, manual control. And again, you can see this comes up on the main screen here. So you've got it's like a proper drone. You can fly it like a proper drone here. You can either use the bigger screen with lots of information on it, height and all sorts of stuff. It's just such a fantastic piece of kit. And this was a game changer for me. I loved the hover drone. I loved that you can just take it out and fly on its own with all these automatic flight functions. But I missed the ability to fly a bit higher and fly like a proper drone. I mean, you could do it, but you're using the app on the phone, but it wasn't very, very intuitive. It wasn't very good at all. But this turns it, the automatic hover, which is what you would normally use most of the time, just take it out, just you do fly wee automatic shots, or bring it in the opportunity to actually fly like a proper drone and have really good control and manipulation on the controllers. To me, that was the game changer, being able to use this. And to get it at the price I got it for was, yeah, it made it so worthwhile. So again, all this kit, this is pretty much how it's all going to pan out this year. That is the equipment we're using now. I thought I'd bring you up to date with where we are. Anyway, for now, I hope you've enjoyed this wee video, and we'll see you again soon. Bye for now.